everybody, thank you for joining me today, and if you clicked on the video, that you would know that this is going to be a Nami video. Yeah, so the basic premise of this video is, well, it's a video I sort of already done before. I made Nami videos, sort of like going over like origin, like hidden origin stories to like Nami, like who her father could be, and I've always stuck to like Shiki as being the main one, and like be honest, like my only reason like for Shiki necessarily is not because I was like it was like all right, so it'd probably be easier if I sort of like explain like how this whole thing came about. All right, so this whole thing came about like back during like the whole Cake Island arc, right around the time when Sanji was getting his father revealed. All right, when Sanji was getting his whole mother and father revealed and all that stuff during the whole Cake Island arc with Judge and all them. And then keep in mind, this was before we entered Wano and everything like this, right? So back when we were in Whole Cake Islands like that, and Sanji got his parents revealed, and then with the whole speculation and people a lot speculation and wondering like, okay, since Sanji got his parental reveal in Whole Cake Island, then Zoro would obviously get his parental reveal in Wano, and that it would be real that Zoro's lineage actually comes from Wano. Now, we are still in Wano right now, but so far there has not been any like direct lineage to really confirm that anyone that Zoro is necessarily related to has come from Wano itself. Now keep in mind that Zoro is from Shimotsuki village, and the person who founded the village actually came from Wano, but that does not mean that Zoro's parents who probably lived in Shimotsuki village or somewhere actually came from Wano. They could have been in the East Blue necessarily. We're not really sure, but it's still up in the air to see what happens. So, and because of this, and a lot of these theories were kind of there that Zoro's family comes from Wano and stuff like that. So I began thinking and wondering like, okay, well, if Sanji and Zoro are probably going to get there, well, I mean, Sanji already got his revealed, but if Zoro's going to get his revealed, then surely Nami is to get hers revealed as well. And the only reason I'm saying this is because like sticking to the main East Blue core people, the only two Straw Hats parents who were actually revealed in the story were Luffy and Usopp. All the other East Blue characters, their parental figures were like hidden mysteries, all right? They weren't like exactly given to us. So, and that began like me thinking like, okay, well, if Sanji and Zoro are going to have theirs revealed, then surely it's only fair that Nami gets her revealed as well, all right? So to me, it's only like fair because like if you're going to reveal Sanji's and you're going to reveal Zoro's, then it should really only be fair that Nami get hers revealed as well. I mean, if you're sticking to the East Blue characters, obviously, then Nami should obviously get hers revealed as well. Now, so that explains that part, but then you're probably wondering, okay, well, where does the whole Shiki thing come in, all right? How does the whole Shiki fit into this? Well, Shiki sort of came in as sort of a cheat. It was sort of a cheat option in that case. So, the way I thought of it is that I began thinking, like, trying to think of every character in the One Piece story, every male character who can best fit not really fit the description of being like Nami's father, but someone around that time who could probably make sense, and then I could see that could make sense to why this person could be Nami's father, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be like 100% match, but I had to find enough evidence to support my reasons to why it can make sense, right? And for Shiki, Shiki fit a lot of descriptions. Well, not like a lot of descriptions, but he basically fit a lot of pieces of the puzzle that I needed in order to help in order to help better define my reasoning like that. Now, that doesn't mean like my reasoning is perfect or it's 100% in, but there was enough there to convince me that I can use him as a possible reason. And plus with Shiki, Shiki is a canon character, but he's also a non-canon character in that sense. So the Strong World movie, with Shiki as the main bad guy, that is not canon, but yet Shiki's events in the manga themselves and the manga Zero, which takes place before Romance Dawn, actually is sort of like it all ties in together and it's like that. It's Shiki is one of the most powerful notorious pirates who have faced off against Roger during Roger's time, and he was also one of the members of the Rocks crew. And I'm going to get back to Rocks in a minute because there's something I want to add to Rocks later. So that's pretty much the reason why the whole Shiki father situation came up, and I'll go over the general concept of why this is. All right, so Shiki's always been my first and main choice for like who Nami's father could be, and I've added other this isn't the first time I made this kind of video. I did like this video before, or where sort of like this video before, or in other videos. So this isn't nothing new. I've already done this one before, but this one's going to be sort of added onto it, where I'm basically well, it's sort of be added onto it. I'm going to be basically giving another candidate whose Nami's father could be. Now, I would like to state that the second candidate is not my idea. Yeah. Other people have already sort of like given their reasons and thoughts on like who this other candidate could be. But I'm basically going to be giving sort of my general opinion in on like why I like this idea, like why I think this character could actually be seen in or be viewed as Nami's father. Now, whether or not you have to like the idea, whether or not the idea turns out to be true, that's all up in the air. That's for anyone who else wants to decide. But I kind of like the idea of this person being Nami's father, and I think it could probably work. So I'm basically going to go over like why I like it and the reasons on why it makes sense to me. Now, keep in mind, as I said, I'm not the only person who's came up with this idea and why this person could be Nami's father. It's really up in the air for anyone who wants to believe it, but that's the way it is. So I'm gonna redo the whole Shiki thing in a minute, and then I'll get into the second person, and then and I'll also sort of explain why it makes sense. Okay, so for Shiki, well, I guess I should start with Shiki. You're probably like wondering, like, what's the exact evidence to support Shiki being the father of Nami? Like, what's the exact purpose? Okay, well, the one thing we have to start with is sort of like going back in time with Shiki, right? So we need to head back in time with Shiki, and like we don't need to go far back, like not insanely back, but to basically start with, the first thing we should probably come up with to start with this is that Shiki, after the Rocks Pirates had disbanded and it's like that, once the Roger and Garp had teamed up and they took down the Rocks Pirates and the Rocks Pirates disbanded, Shiki had sort of made his lifelong goal to basically build an army of pirates and like start to convince Roger to team up with him to take over the world. Like he admired Roger's strength and saw him as a true potential, as a true fighter, worthy of being a true pirate. And when Shiki had found out that Roger was going to be executed, it's like that, he basically felt furious at this, and he felt like it was like a lie that these Marines could take down Roger, that it was impossible. There's no way you Marines could have taken down Roger. I know how powerful he is. I know how strong he is. I'll prove to you. If anyone's going to kill that man, it's going to be me. I'm going to kill him. And which then led to a battle between Sengoku and Garp fighting Shiki for I believe it was like, see, I believe it was like 3 days. I think it was 3 days. I can't remember how long it was, but it basically led to a battle. All right. Now, once the battle was over, Shiki had basically lost the fight. All right. Shiki had lost the fight, and he was sentenced to impel down. So he was imprisoned and impelled down for about 2 years. Okay, 2 years. Now, logically, I want to add something to that. As that's I've mentioned this before, but I'm just gonna say it again. Shiki was actually imprisoned 1 week before Roger was executed. Right, he was imprisoned 1 week before Roger was executed. Okay. Now, the funny thing about this is that Shiki's escape. I mentioned this before in like a Shiki's escape plan video and stuff like that. Is that Shiki's escape from Impel Down was kind of weird, right? There's something off about it that didn't quite make any sense. And you're probably asking and wondering, like, okay, well, what's so odd about it, right? He escaped from Impel Down, right? How hard is that to understand? And that's not the hard part, right? It's not the escaping that's the hard part, right? We already know he escaped. It's basically the reasons on why he chose to escape at that time that didn't make any sense, okay? All right, so Shiki was in prison and Impel Down basically around the same time Roger was executed, okay? Now, here's the thing. Shiki also escaped from Impel Down around the same year that Ace was born, all right? So Ace was born on January 1st, 22 years ago, okay? Shiki also escaped from Impel Down 22 years ago, okay? So Shiki not only got in prison the same year that Roger was executed, but he also escaped from Impel Down the same year that Ace was born. Now, the thing about this is that, you see, thinking about it, it felt like weird because like there was no given reason like why Shiki chose to escape at that time. All right, because like logically speaking, you probably figure like Shiki could have probably escaped at any time he wanted to. And keep in mind, he's in Impel Down, like he's being chained to like Sea Prism Stone. So it's really kind of questionable. Wonder like how did he manage to escape? Right, he basically like. So the way Shiki escaped is that he severed his own legs. Right, he literally severed his own legs. Right, yeah. He literally did that. And then you gotta think about it, like, okay, so he managed to escape from Impel down by severing his own legs. Like how he managed to do that, who knows? But he managed to escape. And you see, going over this logically, sort of my general concept and idea on like why I stuck to Nami and stuff like this is because, like I mentioned, and since like during the whole Cake Island arc, when the whole theories and speculations were coming out, like could Zoro's parents and lineage be from Wano and stuff like that. Now keep in mind, as I said, this was during the whole Cake Island arc before we got into Wano, all right? So, and we're already in Wano. Wano is sort of like coming, like we're not exactly towards the end of Wano just yet, but we're getting close to it. And so yeah, and so basically, Shiki escaped from Impel Down. All right. Now, keep in mind is that Shiki, since Shiki has escaped from Impel Down, he does fit. He does have a good timeline to match up for a good reason, like why Nami could actually be his child and stuff like that. Not to mention, Zoro also fits this description as well. Both Zoro and Nami, both fit the bill as being like candidates who could be like a child of Shiki and stuff like that. Now, whether or not they do tend to be the child of Shiki, like I'm saying, it's up in the air. It doesn't have to be true. It might not be true. I'm just basically saying that there is, like, it's possible that they could be a candidate. They are considered a candidate. Now, you're probably there's more to go into this with this. So, during when Shiki escaped, and we got like news revelations, like news reveals of things that were out there, like people reacting to Shiki escape. Now, I should keep in mind that not every news thing during that letter was basically all about Shiki. Only a few things gave a word about Shiki, okay? Only a few things. But the main thing I want to focus here is on Bellemere, all right? So when Shiki escaped, Bellemere, who is during her time, like keep in mind that when Bellemere's youth, she was a Marine, all right? She was a Marine during her youth. And she basically had mentioned that she had heard that Shiki escaped. Well, she said that if Shiki ever comes to the East Blue, she will be ready for him. And you see, this is where I think this sort of comes into play, like how I think this could be. So my general thought and idea is that Shiki went to the East Blue to find what I probably believe here is that Shiki probably found out that that Roger had a son. All right, he found out that Roger had a son, and then Shiki probably decided to probably went to the East Blue to probably go find Roger's son or Roger's child, and he probably maybe he thought an idea to like continue the rivalry with his own child and stuff like that, and then he probably like got a woman knocked up and like spent time with her. And you see, what my general idea and concept is that Shiki like, okay, so what I'm basically trying to describe here is that it's a little hard to basically it's a little hard to explain, but all right, so this might be a little weird, and it might be hard to understand, and well, not hard to understand, but it might be hard to sort of explain. So all right, so I need to cut from Shiki for a moment. I need to jump to Bellemere to explain something very important. So all right, so during Nami's flashback, when she was talking to Ginzo, when the 8-year-old Nami or 10-year-old Nami, how old Nami was talking to Ginzo, and Ginzo was sort of like telling Nami like where she came from and like the events of like what happened, and through Bellemere's perspective, like things that happened during that event. All right, so and during that flashback that we got with Bellemere, there was something very odd about those panels. All right, something very odd about those flashback panels with Bellemere during the battle with the Oikot Kingdom and stuff like that. Now the Oikot Kingdom is where where Bellemere found Nami no Jiko and stuff like that. That's where the epic battle that happened between Marines and pirates. Now, the odd thing about this is that it's very really the odd thing about this is that when you look at those panels, when you look at those pictures, there is something very weird about those pictures. Something very weird. I'm not sure if anyone's ever noticed it before. I'm sure other people have, but if you look at those pictures, if you notice those dead bodies, nearly all those dead bodies are Marines. Like, seriously, like nearly all of them are Marines. Like, I can't really even tell if anyone are a pirate or even a civilian. Like, they all just look like Marines to me, all right? Like, most of them are wearing, like, Marine uniforms, Marine hats, and it's just, like, insane that, this is supposed to be an epic battle between Marines and pirates, and yet I'm just seeing dead Marines everywhere in that panel. Now, keep in mind that Oda is the one drawing these panels and stuff like that, so even if a character is telling a flashback, if Oda wanted these panels to be real or be basically mentioned to be accurate, and that this was supposed to be a battle between Marines and pirates, then you figure that you should have some dead pirates and dead Marines as well. But no, all you can really see is practically dead Marines. So that got me thinking, like wondering, like, okay, so if this was an epic battle between Marines and pirates, these pirates could not be low amateur pirates, right? These pirates, or this pirate, however you like to say it, could not have been a low level base pirate, right? And we know Shiki Shiki alone himself can take out amateur Marines in an instant so easy, right? When Shiki had stormed Marineford or like that before Garp and Sengoku fought him, a lot of low-level Marines went up against Shiki, and Shiki took them down. All right, he was literally standing on top of them with ease. So, in my personal opinion, Shiki is a good candidate. Why he can be considered a good pirate who can take down a low-level Marine. We know that Bellemere was sort of a hot-headed, tempered, reckless person during her youth who were always like rushing into battle. And see, what I'm sort of thinking here is that Bellemere probably found out that Shiki was hiding out in an island during during the Oikot Kingdom, and she decided to go in and take Shiki down herself. Like she decided to bring in some of her own crew to bring him in alone, which then eventually led to a clash with the Marines fighting against Shiki, and then Shiki basically the whole situation with Oikot Kingdom being devastated and destructed, and then Bellemere, and then my personal opinion is that Bellemere took Nami and Nojiko in and to basically raise them for like her misfortune, like her because like you could see it as being sort of Bellemere's fault for why this happened, because she was reckless. She basically stormed in and went up against a fight that she could not win, and basically caused this to happen. Now, you're probably wondering, like, wait a minute, hold on. Are you saying Nojiko and Nami are actually sisters? No, I don't. I'm not necessarily saying that. But what I'm saying here is that I do think that it's possible that Nojiko actually took Nami, from like Shiki's ship. Like I do, like either Nojiko stole her from like Shiki's cabin where he was staying probably, or he actually stole her from Shiki's ship. So whatever's one available, whatever happens. But I do believe that Nojiko actually stole Nami, and that's what I necessarily believe. All right, so that sort of explains that part. All right. Now you're probably wondering, okay, so who's the second candidate, right? So who is the second candidate? Now, this second candidate probably never would have came into play, and really over time, more evidence sort of came into this, and I'm not the only person to sort of see why this person could be a good candidate and why this person could also be considered Nami's father. All right. As a matter of fact, some people even state that he could probably be Nami's grandfather. I mean, whether or not he's the grandfather, the father, or like even the uncle. All right. To be honest, like he can even be the uncle for all I know. All right. And so I'm basically going to sort of explain like why this sort of makes sense to me, and sort of give my personal opinion on like why I like it. Yeah. And so the other candidate is none other than Rox D. Zebek. That's right, Captain of the Rocks Pirates, right? The one who fought against Garp and Roger at God Valley. Yeah, you're probably wondering, like, okay, why? So, and before I explain my reason why, I want to make sure to let everyone know that there will be a link. I did see another person who did sort of like make their own personal opinion and video on why Rox is sort of related to Nami. Now, and I'll have a link down to that person's video if you want to go watch it. Now, the way he made that video is that he sort of connected Nami related to Rox through Bellemere by saying that Bellemere is the daughter of Rox themselves, and then Nami is actually the biological daughter of Bellemere herself. And keep in mind that Bellemere does fit the age for when does fit the right age for someone who can actually be the child of Rox. So, like, say if Rox had a child before the whole God Valley incident, before he was like rumored to be dead, Bellemere does fit the perfect candidate. Bellemere does fit the perfect candidate for someone who could actually be the child of Rox, right? So that does fit. Yeah. Now, the way in that video, I believe it was by 333 evil. Well, I believe I'm not like sure how to describe his YouTube name. It's like that. I believe it's 33 evil or 333 evil. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. I'm not trying to say that wrong. And in his basic concept of it, what he basically described is that that Bellemere, that Garp basically took Bellemere in and dropped her off at Kokiyashi Village, and then Bellemere eventually grew up and became a Marine, and then it was eventually found out that Bellemere was actually the child of Rox, and then she was stationed at Oikot Kingdom where she basically had Nami, and then eventually the Marines betrayed her and basically had a all-out war against her. It's like that, and then basically Bellemere had to sail in a dinghy all the way back to Kokiyashi Village. Now, some things that don't really make sense to me about that, and it's not the Bellemere being the child of Rox, or even or even Nami being related to rocks, right? That's not the thing that doesn't make sense to me, all right? And I'm not trying to be rude here. It's just that I just can't I just can't seem to like understand the logic between something that doesn't make sense. And what doesn't make sense to me is the fact that okay, so I just don't see like why like to me like even the Marines like found out the that Belmir was the child of rocks. I don't think they would do it by going out and ambushing like a war between fight. Like if anything, they would send like a CP0 member to take her out personally, or they would take her in or lock her up and impel down without causing a fight. I mean, they would probably send an Admiral Marine. Belmir was like tough enough to handle her own against like good base pirates and stuff like that. But there's no way that she would be able to take down a Marine Admiral or anything like that, or even Garp. So someone at Garp's level, all right? So be honest, like that doesn't make any sense. Like why would you go and attack Belmir and then like basically cause destruction to a whole village that had nothing to do with it, all right? You're basically just stuff. And plus with Belmir being stationed at Oikot Kingdom and stuff like that, doesn't make any sense to me because I just don't see like why Belmir would rush into a battle like that with a lot of Marines when she had a baby, all right? So and Nami, like we know Nami was born, like we know Nami's birthday is given as July 3rd, all right? But we do not know if that's like literally the her actual date of birth, right? That could actually be the day that Belmir found her, right? July 3rd could actually be the day that Belmir found Nami. And so to me that's the thing that doesn't actually make sense to me. I mean, I could be wrong, and then maybe Oda will find a way to actually make it make sense. But it's just logically speaking that doesn't make sense to me. Okay. All right, so now going over this whole now let's going back to the whole Rocks thing. So if Rocks does turn out to be the father of Nami, I would like it very much. I think it would be really interesting. I think it could really work, and I think there is like a good reason to why you could see it as a good potential. It's like even like, and let's face it, right? Both Shiki and Rocks were part of the same crew, right? So technically speaking, and even if Rocks does turn out to be the father of Nami and like that, I could still consider it a win because like I got half there. Like, hey, I got half there. Like I did say, hey, like Shiki be the father of Nami. Yet Shiki was on Rocks' crew, and then finding out that Shiki's captain was actually the father of Nami. So I would still consider it a potential win. All right, so what's exactly the hint or evidence to actually support like why Rocks could be the father of Nami? All right, so what's the exact evidence? So or grandfather. So the main reason like the big connections that we want to go over, like why Nami could be the father or like the child of Rocks, like however you want to say it, like grandchild, child, whatever, like the relative of Rocks, someone who's related to Rocks. So the first thing to go over is Nami's abilities. Right, so Nami has abilities sort of surrounding and based so well I should say this. So we have to look at Nami's abilities and the inspiration of where it comes from, right? So Nami is sort of taking inspiration on her abilities from Sun Wukong, from Chinese mythology and stuff like that, from the Chinese story Journey to the West, all right? And she's basically being inspired by Sun Wukong. And now, the way she's sort of inspired by Sun Wukong is through her climate act, the recent one, the new one that she has, her new climate act, which basically has the ability to extend and stretch, right? It has the ability to extend and stretch, right? Sun Wukong also had an extending act that can also stretch as well. Nami also has a flying cloud, a flying rideable cloud. Sun Wukong also had a flying rideable cloud as well. Okay. So there are things with that. Nami is known to control the weather. Sun Wukong has also known to control the weather. Okay. The other thing to go over with it is necessarily this is that all right. So and a lot of people like others like this is probably like the main reason like why this could be possible, why this could make sense. So if you know the story of Sun Wukong, it's like that. Sun Wukong was born from a magical stone, right, or a magical rock, however you like to refer to it. It's like that. But he was basically born from like a magical stone. Okay. Now here's the thing. Since Nami is sort of taking inspiration from Sun Wukong, it's like that, and the fact that Oda did reveal to us that there was a powerful pirate named Rocks, then you can see that as a good you can see why it can make sense and why it logically has good reasons on why Nami could actually be someone who could be related to Rocks, right? Whether or not she was born from Rocks or whether or not she is the grandchild of Rocks is still up in the air, right? Like who knows? Like in my personal opinion, like I would think it would be more good reason to believe that Rocks should be alive, but I could be wrong, right? So Rocks could be dead, he could be alive, who knows? else. But that's probably one of the good reasons like why you can see it makes sense. And the other thing to go over, like why another hint to give like why Nami is related to rocks is this. So if you look at Nami's bounty, so if you look at Nami's two bounties and stuff like that, her first one is 16 million, and her second one was 66 million. All right. Nami's bounties and stuff like that. She's had the number 6 in her bounty. All right. And 6 in Japanese, well, one of the translations for 6 is Roku, okay? And you can take Roku to spell out Rox's name, all right? So Roku can actually translate into, can also help translate into rocks by making Rokusu. So Rokusu for rocks. Now, keep in mind that while these hints and evidence can does point to being like a good possibility uh, why rocks could possibly be related to Nami, keep in mind that this doesn't necessarily say 100% and that it's going to be true or it has to be true. Okay, but if rocks does turn out to be the father of Shiki, I have no problems with it. I think it like. But if Rocks does turn out to be the father of Nami, I wouldn't have any problems with it. I think it could be really interesting, and I think it could really work. Now, and be honest, like this really, like be honest, none of this would probably come up if Rocks was never revealed, or even if Oda never sort of like took inspiration from Sun Wukong and or give some of that inspiration and give some of that inspiration to Nami as well with some of her abilities. So yeah, hey, so yeah, there's not much else to go on with that and stuff like that. Not much to say, but Shiki was always my first candidate for like who I think could be a perfect candidate for Nami's father is. But then like this other character came up, and then certain people started explaining like why this makes sense, and like after seeing the reasons on why this person could also be potentially be Nami's father, I like the idea of it. So I would be perfectly okay with it. And if that's the case, then that's who Nami's father is. And now we'll have to wait to see if Oda's ever going to reveal to us if that's true or how the things are going to turn out. But who knows? Like it's like it's crazy. Like it's a possibility that you could see it, and it's a good one. So yeah, hey, that's all I have for this Nami video. I don't have much else to say, but that's all I wanted to say. So I just wanted to go over this for like Nami's who Nami's father could possibly be, and like the two my two favorite candidates and stuff like that. The first one was Shiki, who was literally my first choice, and then when Rocks was revealed and like the whole this whole evidence sort of came out for like why you can see Rocks as being Nami's father, or I kind of like the idea of it and I really enjoy it. Now keep in mind whether or not Nami is like say like the child of rocks or grandchild of rocks, I'm not really sure. Right, whatever which one it is it's whatever which one it is. Okay. That's all I have for this video. Not much else to go over. Not much else to say, but that's all I wanted to say. I would also like to say that I would appreciate if you also like the video if you liked the video, and if you did enjoy my video and stuff like that, if you enjoyed the evidence I provided and like statements on why I sort of like these ideas, please feel free to smash well, I already said that, but please feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bells. All right, hit all the notification bells. All right, like liking the channel and subscribing to the channel and hitting those notification bells not only helps you, but it helps me as well. All right, so because like I know that people enjoy seeing my content and they want to subscribe to me and they want to know when more of my videos are coming out, it gives me more reasons to make more videos, to put them out there so you guys can enjoy them and see them as much as possible. All right, so we're sort of like helping each other out. All right, I help you, you help me. That's sort of like the way it works. Okay. Also, I would also like to mention that keep in mind, I'm not the only person who sees the idea of Nami being related to rocks, right? Other people have already made videos on this before. I know one YouTuber, 333 Evil, made a video of it too, and I'll have a link down to his video as well if you want to go check out his video and like the whole Belmere connection. And so that's for that. And I'll have some links to my other Nami related videos and stuff like that for to see if you want to check out some of those. I might have a little bit better evidence on those videos. This is like, you consider this more of like a recap. This is more of like a recap video for some of those evidence to provide. All right. So yeah, so that's all I have for this. You can follow me on Twitter if you like, and not much else to say. So that's all. So hey, thank you for joining me for this video, and you all have a great day. Thank you now. Bye.